So they're vegan, they're gluten-free. In fact, the white one won the Free From Food Awards drink of the year and the gold medal, which I think is quite unusual for something in that category. And it's just won the Taste Award 2-star as well. But it was about the taste. It's about writing your own story, making your own choices, actually connectivity, memories, all those things that alcohol promises and just doesn't deliver. Just that. But with a smile, It's not a health food. If you want something really good for you, go drink water.
Yeah, this is all about having fun, isn't it? But a different kind of, not a different kind of fun, but a healthier kind of.
Yeah, maybe it is a different kind of fun. Maybe it is an iteration. This isn't as it was when I was a teenager. People don't want to get off their faces all the time anymore. Living's quite expensive. People want to be able to be part of their experiencing. Remember what they did last night. Be accountable. I think a lot of that is social media. If I'd have known everything I ever did was going to be up on YouTube in 2 minutes, I was like, arse end up on cider in a hedge, I might have thought twice about it. So I think it's a different time now. That's what these are for.
So what was it? So they were the first two that you created, and what kind of response did you get? How were they received?
Oh, well, unusually for me, actually, I felt really exposed. So the process of creating them was actually quite difficult. I'm not going to talk about it, but it was very difficult and made a lot harder by certain people who were paid to make it easier. However, so by the time I got them, I was feeling a bit bruised and a bit exposed. So I just put them in the garage. And Andy, bless him, was like, sweetheart, we're going to have to do something with these because I can't get the car out. So he entered them into the IWSC, the International Wine and Spirits Competition, which is, internationally, a really well considered benchmark. And it was really to test the market. Had I made something worth drinking? And I was terrified. I felt like a kid and no one was going to come to my party. And I know what that felt like. I was really, really worried.
And to be up against some pretty big players, I would imagine.
Globally, not just, but globally. Yeah, and the dark one took the bronze, and the white one took the gold, but it also took the global trophy as the best non-alc product available.
From someone who a few months earlier had no idea.
I hadn't even launched. And I don't think I knew what it meant either because I still hadn't really launched. So that gave me an immediate issue because at the same time as doing those, I'd done the liquid formulation for the white can for goat. And actually all launched under the brand of goat. But that sort of didn't make sense because goat's an energy drink.
Yeah, so that's quite a different
audience, and it sounds a bit silly now, but it hadn't occurred to me at the time. So it became really apparent really, really quickly. So I spoke to my
So that's the large cans there.
Yeah, so the white can and the pink can. Yeah. So I spoke to my accountant who suggested that we immediately split the company into myth drinks and goat drinks, which we did. And then I decided just to put goat down for a couple of months while I kind of caught up with myself a bit and began to understand the business of the business. And I learn very experientially, so I can only do it by doing it. Can't tell me, I'm not that person. I just have to learn. So I sort of set about learning because people would say to me things like, is it for at home or on trade? I don't understand the question. How many SKUs have you got? I don't understand the question. It was a bit like that. So it's been a bit of a steep learning curve. I then went on.
That's true for anyone starting in something, isn't it?
Anything.
Any entrepreneur. Yeah. So anyone out there who's never done anything before.
It's new.
It is a steep learning curve, but that's kind of the point, isn't it?
Today's your day.
Because everyone has to learn these things at some point.
Someone said to my husband, actually, what made your wife think she could do this? And he just said, nobody told her she couldn't. Yeah. And I think that's true. But it has been a challenge. I then went on to win the World Alcohol Free Awards as the best non-alc spirit globally. Taste Awards, San Francisco Bartender Awards. I've just been told I'm in the finals for the People's Choice Award, and the other people in the finals are Diageo Spirit and Sentia. So that's not a bad place to find myself, is it? Good company. Again, I've still got no backers, no funders, no clear route to market. I've got no staff. No one works for me. My friend Gemma does the artwork. Andy's an unpaid box packer. It's all been funded by me. I export to Canada, North America, Africa, and parts of Europe. Just started going out to Australia and New Zealand. And and people phone and they'll say, oh, can I speak to your marketing team? It's like, that's me. Can I speak to your logistics team? That's still me. So that's, even if I closed the door on it now, that would be one hell of an achievement. And I did that. And I'm really, really proud of it.
Yeah, so it should be.
But it's not been easy, and I do feel quite exposed.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge pond you're now swimming in with some big sharks. Yeah, exactly. So it's not surprising that you feel quite exposed. It'd be strange if you didn't.
Yeah. And there's been some poor behaviours. Some of them have been my own. I think when you feel exposed and a bit vulnerable, you get a bit jittery. It's been a lot of work, a lot of activations, some really cool things, some great travelling.
Well, you've told me some every time we meet. So tell us some of the, because I think, were you in on the King's Coronation? You had something to do with that. Come on, tell us about that.
So I was in Dubai and I provided the drinks at the embassies for the King's Coronation. I was out there and I met Jo Malone, which was just like really exciting.
And she provided me candles.
My husband said that. It's all about the candles. I have just been to Riyadh. I've hosted a sober yacht party in Jersey. I partnered with the PFA, Professional Football Association, and with Rolls-Royce and Bentley. I was at the Polo. I mean, I've done so many things. I've been to the House of Lords twice. I've been in the finals of all sorts of things, from the Lloyd's Business Person of the Year to... I mean, just so many things. I actually can't rattle them off my head now. It's been a really busy...
I mean, it's a great product, but that is still a really impressive road of awards. I mean, so how's that come about?
Well, some of them... Well, I think it kind of helps. I've got the only alcohol-free Malibu that there is, so that matters. The one more has just been released, actually. I'm not bothered by that competition. We'll park that. But up until that, there was nothing else in that space. But I think it's because I haven't replicated the drink, because I don't drink. So I've not gone and drunk a bottle of Malibu and then said, make it taste like that. I've kind of created a memory.
Yeah. Taking the essence of what that is.
Yeah. And what all that it means. But also I'm intensely practical and transactional. So I kind of know what I wanted it to do. And I've just not tried to be that clever with it. And I'm iterative as well. I can pivot quite quickly. So that when I needed to rebrand, I did that. And those sort of things, I can make that happen quite quickly. And also, I've had the support of Andy, which means, and I can't stress this enough, I know that if I phoned him now and just said, Andy, I'm done with this, I've had enough, he'd go, all right, darling, how can I help? No pain, no shame. So I can take the risk, you know, which I think it's easy to underestimate that, but I don't owe anybody anything. I've not taken any funding. I just get to choose myself. Yeah.
Do you think that, because I would imagine that some of the big players like Diageo, who've been making alcoholic drinks for centuries, for them to create a non-alcoholic version of their drinks, they probably just think, well, we'll just find a way to take alcohol out and it'll do the same thing. Whereas you've approached it from a completely different angle, haven't you? You've tried to take the essence, as you say, the
point.
Yeah,
the point of what we say it does.
The joy, the happiness that people get, and try to give them that without...
Whilst feeling included and validated